For a company with a predominantly union workforce, that relationship between the union and the employer has a dramatic impact on the success or failure or struggle of a workers' compensation program. Hello, my name is Michael Stack, and I'm the CEO of Amaxx. And today I want to talk with you about that union relationship. And most importantly, and most specifically, the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA. Obviously, the negotiation of that collective bargaining agreement has a lot of complexity to that. But today I want to talk with you about one point that if you do not have this one point, the entire negotiation will be a lot more difficult than it needs to be. There'll be a lot more struggle than there needs to be. They're going to have a lot more roadblocks than there needs to be. And that one particular point, as you're negotiating this, as you're looking at this, is this idea of transparency. Transparency. We know the value of return to work on the employer side, or we should know the value of it on the employer side. A lot of times that's not communicated properly to that union leadership. And that union leadership and employer relationship is so important because those union leaders represent a large portion of the workforce. They represent a lot of employees. And if that in relationship with the union leaders goes south, then a lot of times the relationship with the entire union workforce goes south. This idea of transparency is so important philosophically going into these relationships and negotiations with those union leaders. This is about demonstrating, opening up the books of the employer and letting them know the financial impact on the company. And by the way, the financial impact on the union itself, and how that impacts their fees, and how it impacts their member dues, how it impacts their union benefits they offer to their workforce. Hugely important point to go into this idea of transparency. If you don't have this idea of transparency, if you're not willing to open up your books and show that financial impact, your success will be a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Again, my name is Michael Stack. I'm the CEO of Amaxx. And remember, your work today in workers' compensation can have a dramatic impact on your company's bottom line, particularly if you negotiate with your unions with transparency. But it will most certainly have a dramatic impact on someone's life. So be great.